Well, hello there, first graders. Listen, let's do a review of Chapter 11 in your math book. Now, Chapter 11's unit review is on page 663 in your math workbooks. So get your math workbooks, pause the video, get a pencil, and let's work through all the review problems for Chapter 11. Now, you remember Chapter 11 was all about shapes. Do you remember the different shapes? The cone, the rectangular prism, the cube, the sphere, and the cylinder. Those were the basic shapes that you studied in Unit 11. And how you can combine those shapes together and you can build things. For example, if you took a cone and put a cylinder underneath it and set that on top of a block, you could have a rocket ship just by combining those shapes together. Anyhow, I'm sure you had fun with this lesson because it's the kind of things that you probably already know a lot about. On page 663, number 1 is match each shape to the group where it belongs. And it shows you 5 different shapes there, and there's 3 possibilities. It's either only flat on one side, only curved on one side, or both flat and curved. Now, when you look at a cone, does it have a flat side? Does it have a curved surface? Well, sure, it has a curved surface. So, the cone has a curved surface. If I turn this cone upside down, there's your curved surface. Does it have a flat surface? Why, yes, it does. The next object is a rectangular prism. And a rectangular prism does that have any curved surfaces? No. It only has flat surfaces. The next object is a cube. And what makes a cube special? Well, a cube is special because it's equal on all sides. Equal dimensions on all sides. And does it have any curved surfaces? No. No, you can see that there's no curved surfaces on a cube. The next object is a sphere. You know, kind of like a soccer ball. Does it have any curved surfaces? Why, yes, it does. As a matter of fact, a sphere has all curved surfaces. There are no flat surfaces on a soccer ball. It wouldn't roll very well if it did. And then the last is the cylinder. Now, when you look at it, does it have curved surfaces? Well, yes, it does. Here's your curved surfaces, and here are your flat surfaces. So a cylinder has both curved and flat surfaces. Let's get on to problem number 2. It gives you two shapes. It gives you a cylinder and it gives you a cube. Remember, the cube has equal sides. It says take those two objects, and there are 5 choices of what you can build with it. And it shows you with the cube on the bottom and the cylinder on top. It shows you with the cylinder on the side and the cube like so. And it also shows you the cube and the cylinder in that direction. Those are the only correct answers, because 2 of them, one of them is a rectangular prism with the cylinder, and the other one is the cube with a cone. So 3 of those answers are correct. The combinations of what you can build using a cube and a cylinder. Let's go to page 664. Now, it's showing you some shapes here. It's showing you a cylinder with a cone on top of it. So your cylinder with a cone on top of it. And it asks you, and these are yes or no problems, when you look at the original shape, can you make 2 out of it? If you repeat that shape, yeah. So yes would be the correct answer for the first one. And then it shows you a cylinder on top of a cube, and it shows you that same cylinder and a cube, but turned upside down. But it's using the same shapes, and it's repeating. So that's true. The third one, however, it shows you 2 cylinders and 2 cubes. And if you were going to repeat that, it would have to be 4 cylinders and 4 cubes. 2 plus 2. They're grouped in 2s. So you can't make 3 out of 2 and 2. It has to be 4. So you see why that one would be no. That is incorrect. You can't do that. Problem number 4, now look at your book. You see 4 cubes and 4 cones on top of the cube. And it's asking you to determine, out of a group of 4 shapes, what shapes were used to create that. And obviously, if you look at it, you can see that they're cubes and cones. It wouldn't be a sphere, and it wouldn't be a cylinder. They're cubes and cones. Problem number 5. It says, circle the number that makes the sentence true. And I like this problem. It goes, there are, and then it gives you a box here of some choices. And in the choices, you got 0, 1, and 2. And it says circles on, and it shows you a cylinder. So, how many circles are on that cylinder? Well, you can clearly see that that's a circle. But don't get tricked here, because when you turn it over, there's a circle on the bottom too. There's a circle on both ends of a cylinder. So, the correct answer would be 2. Number 6. This is such a fun lesson. Hey, it's going to get even more fun next week, though. We're going to start doing geometry. Anyhow, number 6, Sarah wants to trace. So Sarah, she wants to trace a circle. And she has 3 objects. She has a cube. She has a rectangular prism. And she has a funnel. Now, she wants to draw a circle. Now, if I wanted to draw a circle, would I use the cube and try and make a circle? Or the rectangle? No. I'd use the funnel. What would happen if you used the cube? Or the rectangle? Well, you sure wouldn't get a circle. You'd get the shape of a cube, or you get the shape of that rectangle. So, you want to use the funnel. If I wanted to draw a circle, for example, I could take an object like this. See, it's round. And because it's round, I can set it down and I can make a circle. So if you ever have to make a circle, look around for a can or a paint bucket or something that's already round for you. Number 7. They're asking you in number 7 to look at 4 shapes and determine which shape has only 2 flat surfaces. Now a cube, it's got 6 sides and they're all flat, so it has 6 flat surfaces. A rectangle, same thing. It has 6 sides and all 6 sides are flat. But when you look at a cone and a cylinder, remember the cone? There's a flat surface and there's a flat surface. And the cylinder, there's a flat surface and there's a flat surface. So cylinders and cones only have 2 flat surfaces. The cone has 1 circular surface, and the cylinder has 2, one on the top, one on the bottom. Don't forget, the cylinder has a circle on the bottom. Problem number 8. It gives you a shape. That looks like that. And they made it 3-dimensional. What makes something 3-dimensional? See how it went from being flat to being fat? What makes it 3-dimensional, it has a length, it has a width, and a height. 3 dimensions. Remember that. The flat surface only has a length and a width, so it's only 2-dimensional. But anyhow, it's asking you, if you have this, how many of those are used to make this shape? So now you got to kind of let your eyes look at it and figure it out. Well, this is 2 cubic blocks. So here's 2 cubic blocks. Here's 2 cubic blocks. And here's 2 cubic blocks. So there's 1, 2, 3. 3 of that shape can make that shape. That finishes 665. Couple more problems on 666. So Ellen built a shape, and it shows you the shape there. And the shape is, she has a cylinder, and she built that on top of a rectangle. And it's asking you, what shapes did she use? Well, obviously, she used a cylinder and a rectangle. You all ought to be able to figure that out just by looking at the picture. And for the last question, Hector built a shape that kind of looks like, I don't know, a castle or something. He used 4 cylinders, 4 cones, and what appears to be a cube, because the center of that object, it appears to be square and equal on all sides. So don't get tricked into thinking that that's a rectangle. Look at the object closely. Are all the sides the same? And if they are, then it's a cube. So I see 1 cube, 4 cylinders, and 4 cones. Well, that wraps up Unit 11. We're going to start what they call two-dimensional geometry. Remember, two-dimensional only has a length and a width. It doesn't have that height, that third dimension. And so if you want to look ahead on page 668, go all the way through 670. And on 670 is a list of vocabulary words. Circle, equal parts, a fourth of, fourths, half of, halves, hexagon, and a quarter of. Get yourself familiar with those terms, and next week we'll jump into chapter 12, and really, it will be fun. Geometry is fun, and you're going to like it. So get yourself ready for it. Meanwhile, it's the weekend, and the weather's going to be pretty nice. Give you an opportunity to get outside, get a little fresh air. But don't forget, social distancing. Don't get in a bunch of group of kids. We don't want anybody to get sick. Remember now, we got to stay safe